From Los Angeles, California, we are the Mad Scientist Party Hour.
Oh, hello there, friends. Welcome back to another episode of Mad Scientist Party Hour. My name's Kevin Kraft. Once again joined by a man who has no pants or undies on and is currently jacking his boner off while shoving a football up his ass.
Oh, wow.
That's Jeff Clark.
More football. I love it. I got a little understated V-neck today. Not so aggressive.
Keeping it conservative. I like it. And beaming to us from the line of spinach, the bearded tight end with the loose hole known as Shuddy Boy.
Yo, brat, brat.
Nice.
I can't believe it just happened to accidentally time out like this. I wrote that intro this morning, and then we signed in for the Easter egg, and you motherfuckers are talking about football.
Yes, sir. The greatest time of year is dawning.
Oh boy,
here.
What did they do now? Is the ball a triangle now?
Kevin, don't fucking rain on my parade.
Yeah,
I'm gonna cry.
This. Don't trivialize.
Did they put
this.
bear traps on the field? Is there anything
Kevin,
interesting happening now?
You of all people should understand that it's a big day because it's a video game release day. It's Madden Day, and for all those who pre-ordered the Legacy Edition or
Deluxe, I believe, is the lower level, the mid tier where you get 3-day early access.
Right. So I bought that today, and so did Shuddy.
Oh, I remember this from last year. You guys spent an extra $20 to get 3 days early, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And this
exactly
is a game
what we did this year.
And this is a game that you play for what, 6 weeks before you get bored of it and then stop?
Nope.
No, I play for. Hey, Shuddy plays in every episode.
I'm currently playing Madden 20 right now for the last time.
I need to switch up my arrangement. He's getting a jump on me. I got a tab
Jeff,
open on my phone.
The way I play against the computer does not equate to playing against actual humans that think.
Also, Shuddy is playing last year's model, which isn't going to help him at all in a few hours because they're introducing laser beams and spring shoes and invisibility cloaks.
I know I'm jumping ahead here, but as you learned in the High Score documentary, John Madden wouldn't let that corny shit go through.
Oh, please. That pussy's afraid to even get on an airplane.
Don't you dare. Don't you fucking dare.
Oh, eat my shit, John Madden.
Oh, my God.
Eat my shit. I've known him longer.
He is a top 5 fucking American.
I'll go to war. I'll quit this podcast right now.
Yeah. I will die on this hill for John Madden. He is a fucking American treasure.
Hey, you know what?
Not only for the video game, but for his contributions to American football and pop culture as a whole.
What's he going to do? Get an Uber out here to come and kick my ass?
You
incel
communist.
Fucking goober.
You fucking communist. You make me sick. I would suck 3 dicks to fucking ride across country on a train with John Madden and talk football.
All right, how about this?
Who that Sega executive was, but holy shit.
Would you suck a dick?
It was like the Electronic Arts guy.
Would you suck a dick to extend John Madden's life by 5 years or throw his soul into the abyss?
I'd take that dick.
Yeah, I guess I would. Although, unfortunately, we're not getting... Like, extending his life doesn't mean we get more John Madden. This isn't recency bias or just because I watched him on that documentary today. But he is the greatest sports commentator ever. Like,
he's got
absolutely.
It's not even an argument.
He's got that voice. Like that voice is like the. It's like if sweatpants could talk. Like he's the voice. Like, that's what every guy has tried to emulate, right?
There goes Johnson. Oh, look at that. Johnson's getting on a plane. He's a much braver guy than I am.
He is honestly the embodiment of football in every fucking way.
Did he ever play football?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, had to be in like the 50s or some shit.
What is it about people that like football and having that voice? Sounds like a fucking mouthful of socks.
I mean, he's just
He's
a
got the
big
pig skin
burly
there.
man. He's got a big burly man voice. I don't know.
And I never realized that, like, he, after watching that High Score documentary, that he, like, his signature move was fucking Kool-Aid guying through walls and shit.
For Miller Lite.
Hey, John Madden's here. Toss me one of those cold ones.
I love that guy pitched him like co-signing a 7-on-7 football game, and he's like, "No, we're doing real football if we do
We're
it.
doing it. We're doing it right. Yeah. None of that
doing real
meek football shit.
Yeah, we're not doing fucking laser beams and shit like this. We're doing real football."
Bear traps on the field.
Although the one gimmicky thing that they did that I wish they never got rid of was when someone got injured, they would bring the ambulance on the field and like run people over. And that shit, they should have never got rid of that.
The
You remember
ambulance
what I'm talking about,
ran
Shuddy?
people
Yes.
over?
Yeah, like it would just like an ambulance would come through when someone was injured.
Yeah, so like a
You
cart
mean-
would come out on the field to get them, and there was a glitch in the game where it would just plow through a group of players.
Which Madden was
Instead
that?
of- what?
Which Madden was that?
I don't remember. It was one of the cartridge ones.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't
In
know.
early Madden.
Early 90s.
But Madden has not always. Once I got, I dabbled. I played Madden a little bit on the Genesis and on the Super Nintendo. I didn't have either of those, so I didn't play them much. And I started off with the PlayStation with NFL Game Day. And then played the 2K NFL game, and then switched over to Madden exclusively. And since that time, Madden Day has been, for the most part, a very big day for me. I would go to the mall to pick up my copy at midnight when they did the midnight release. I even went immediately from a Gwar concert to the mall to pick up Madden.
It's very justified. There's nothing wrong with that.
Covered in fake blood.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it was worth it. And then went home and played it for hours. Sharon got home today, and I was like, in 6 hours and 15 minutes, Madden releases. And she goes, "So you're not coming to bed tonight?"
That's right.
I said, "Well, I am off tomorrow." And she goes, "Yeah, so you should stay up late." I was like, "Okay, you don't have to really, you're not having to sell me too hard on this. I'm not going to fight with your..."
You're going to
insisting
have to go and get my rat poison bottle and a plate for me to drop my turds on.
That was
Kevin,
never a thing. That was never a thing. You're just jealous that there's nothing in life you love as much as we love Madden.
I love everything in life as much as you love Madden.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna read a comic tonight, and it's gonna bring me as much joy as Madden brings you.
That's
And then
impossible.
I'm gonna beat off, and that's gonna bring me as much joy that Madden brings you.
Well, maybe. Yeah, now you're getting closer.
Yeah. Yeah. Now you're in the right ballpark.
Okay, let me ask you this:
Can you
would you?
appreciate how excited we are?
I do, but would you buy the $99.99 special edition of Madden that comes with a flashlight of John Madden's mouth, and if you fuck it, you get to play it a week early?
Oh, that's right. Just
how
fucking
did that
give it to
happen?
me. I want your balls
your-
bouncing off my chin.
How did your brain do that? I guess a week early. That'd be pretty sick. That's a dope flex. I would definitely put that on Instagram.
Oh, Madden!
Not the flashlight. I mean, it looks like his mouth. I don't even.
And it's like it's like a
such a
Teddy
ridiculous
Ruxpin.
thing.
Like he says things while you're fucking it.
Oh, yeah, that's
I mean,
right. Give me a fucking pounding.
They really did rake, they put me over a barrel for this $71.99 version because I don't play online enough to use the Ultimate Team cards that they're going to give me for free. So I really just paid the extra money to have it 3 days early.
I'll do you one better. I don't do anything, and I haven't done anything on Madden for years aside from play people online. It's the only, I do one mode and that's it, and I just play with my Giants team. Sometimes I'll go through like a streak where the Giants are pretty terrible. So I'll go through a streak where people are just wiping me out, and like I just got to pick another team like once every 10 games just to make it more tolerable.
And you don't take any
Giants
umbrage with the game punking out your favorite team and making them a bunch of pussies?
Well,
No, they are a bunch of pussies.
Yeah, they are very accurate to real life.
Yeah, that's my favorite, dude. I saw I'm researching all this football shit for all my bets for my sports writing gig because it's my number one hobby. It's my number one shit. And one of the things that I source is Madden ratings. I believe the video game makers at Madden or EA Sports, they know and they study as much football as any analyst. So why not just go with their Madden ratings as like player power ratings? It isn't the end all be all, but like it matters.
But there's nothing else. There's nothing that in the analyzing of athletes that's the end all be all.
Right. Exactly. So why not?
They're just as accurate as other metrics.
Yeah, like Pro Football Focus or whatever. Yeah.
So what about, is this Madden 2021? I don't even know how they title their game.
Madden 21.
Madden 21.
It's like a car. It's always a year ahead type thing.
I didn't know if they did the 2K stuff.
No.
Okay.
No.
So what are you most looking forward to about Madden 21 that didn't happen in Madden 20?
That's my thing, Kevin. This is why I feel like on some level you should have a little appreciation for it. They don't have to do much. Honestly, they don't have to do anything. Just like update the rosters, I guess make the gameplay a little smoother, but I don't want much difference. And I'm happy about that, honestly. You know? Like
Then
that was
why
my
not just keep playing Madden 20?
Because
like, why are you so excited if there's nothing different?
Because it's just updated playbooks, updated rosters. I guess of course
the
I
new
am
Raiders stadium will be in there. The stadium that Big Sexy was a project manager on in LA will be in this game.
That's going to be really exciting. A different stadium.
I'm trying to answer your question, but you're being a real pussy about this.
That doesn't sound like you're trying to answer my question.
I mean, I'm saying that I like when they keep it exactly the same. I honestly have not read anything about this game. I know they have new like Madden Ultimate Team cards, and they have these new things that you can do, but I don't follow any of that. I only play online. And to me, it's worth it. $80. I'll play that game probably 100, 150 times over the next year. I'm straight with that.
Yeah.
I don't play as much as Shuddy, or even not nearly as much as I used to, especially in college, obviously. But I mean, it's just great value. Like I know what I'm getting, and I know it's not going to fuck it up. Like they're not going to fuck it up. I know it.
Do you think if all they did was add like jerseys for the new players and release the game, anybody would notice?
I mean, yeah, the collective consciousness of the internet and Reddit would, they would sniff it out pretty fast.
Okay, let me ask you this. If Madden 22 offered a $5 DLC that on Madden Day just updated Madden 21 with the correct player roster for that year, would you buy the $5 DLC or would you spend $80 on the game?
Me personally, I'd probably just buy the DLC because all I do is just play online with the updated rosters. But like some people, like these Madden like Pro Championships and these Madden tournaments, like you got to play with the Ultimate Team, so you got to like earn points to draft teams, and you get certain.
What you do is you earn coins, you earn like in-game currency, and then you buy packs of cards, and you field teams based on the players you get in the packs, and you only have them, I believe, for a certain amount of time, and then you have to replace them with other cards.
Right. So I don't want to do
That's all gotten too in depth for me.
Right. I don't want to do that. Maybe one weekend I'll play franchise mode and get into it, but like I just want to play people online, maybe curse out a fucking child over PlayStation 4 chat. I don't know. Like I'm not trying. I don't want anything special, honestly. Just don't fuck it up. Just don't fuck it up. Just do it the exact same way as last year. Just give us new rosters.
So this is well. Let me just
2 hours and 27 minutes. T-minus.
This is so I'm in the 7th season of my franchise.
All in Madden 20. So you've played 6 seasons.
I'm at the Super Bowl of the 7th season.
How many Super Bowls have you won?
6. I'm 6 for 6.
No, he isn't.
Right.
No, he isn't. Look at that fucking Shuddy face.
I believe him. Why not?
Hold on. Let's see if I can.
Yeah, can you prove this?
I'm looking. I mean,
what difficulty do you play on?
I play. What am I on?
You better not be on pro, you bitch.
No, I'm on All Pro.
All right.
Why? What's pro? What makes pro bitch shit?
Because
pro, it goes. It's really it's real easy, hard, and then very hard. Essentially.
Yeah, like I think it goes beginner or like it goes rookie, pro, veteran. No. Beginner, rookie, pro, all pro, and then Madden. All Madden's like the toughest. All Madden could break a controller. I've gotten really mad at All Madden before.
Yeah, All Madden is even beyond my skill set.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's just how
tough.
hard the computer is.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't miss anything. It's ridiculous, and it's hard to like get over or get through their blocks. I don't want to talk too much football bullshit, but yeah, it's just hard to move there. It's like you're playing a fucking video game team coached by Bill Belichick. It's stupid. Good luck completing a pass on 3rd and long against All Madden.
Seriously.
You know what I'm talking about?
Well, I'm happy for you guys.
It's a big day. Thank you for being happy for us.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Recognize how big of a day this is for me and Shuddy. That's my first request. I got some coffee too.
I just finished mine.
Jeff, you look like you got a carton of milk out of the elementary school cafeteria.
Yeah, it's Blue Bottle coffee. Have you ever heard of it?
I have. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's well known and up in the Bay Area. They're based out in Oakland. Pretty popular up there. It's like super hipster shit, but yeah, I went to a gourmet grocery store down the street, and I don't know, I want to get an iced coffee. It's New Orleans style. I don't really know what that means.
So it has chicory in it.
Yeah, that's how you say that word? Chicory. Yep. Thank you.
How did you think it was said?
It's a root that you've been to Cafe Du Mont, right, Kevin, in New Orleans? You were there. And you got the chicory from there. It was an alternative to coffee. It tasted like coffee, but it was more bitter. It's more bitter, and it's not caffeinated. But when they couldn't get coffee, they used chicory root as a substitute.
Yeah, I was going to say chicory. No, I had it right. Yeah, chicory. Okay. I was confused though. I probably would have like stuttered it out had you not said it ahead of time. Like chicory. But chicory. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. A root. Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm just sticking with the standard
for this episode.
Standard caveman. These Monday doubles are fucking ass kickers. And this
Radio
is like
to podcast.
doing a little,
But you
little
rock
bump.
it. You do it better than anybody in the business.
That's right. They call me all crafty 2 times.
They call it- yeah, double time craft.
So is that all you guys wanted to say about Madden? You got it out of your system?
Yeah, I think
for the most part. I mean,
Your
we can
dick's
talk
still
about
hard?
it again later.
I mean, in 2 weeks from today, we'll have more football to talk about because we'll be on the eve of the new season. So we'll give you a respite for tonight.
Well, while we're on football, we should just mention that I sent an email for the PooFL, the Real Deuce, the second league, the $55 league. So check your inboxes to the 11 other teams that are in that. And I know you got the regular PooFL going and have the draft date all set up. Does Kevin know about it?
No, I forgot to. I told everybody but you guys. We're going to do August 30th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
Let me see.
The Sunday.
That's God damn it. Got to give up precious weekend time for this fucking fart knockery.
Kevin, everyone wants to get in that league so they can play you and beat you.
Jeff and I were talking before you got on that in the 2018 season, you had the highest scoring team in the league.
Yeah, it's just another element of my life I don't need that shit in. Hey, guess what? You killed it. And you lost. Oh, cool.
You
Great
did
job.
great.
You drafted way better than I thought you were going to do. You're in last.
Yeah. It's like that's what I try. That's the element of my life, the ever-present element of my life that I try to escape. And then with Final Fantasy Football, which you guys use to escape, it just fucks me right in my butt.
Yeah, dude, it fucks everyone. I mean, you're not doing it right if you don't fucking hate it.
Oh, well, then I'm doing it right because I sure hate it.
Yeah, all right. Well, buckle up. We got another season. Check out, go to the NFL Fantasy app and look out for the invite in your inbox.
Come on, COVID.
COVID's stopping for football. They're putting out a
Yeah.
fucking product. You're not getting that lucky, Kevin. You're not getting that lucky.
Yeah, I know. So we should probably just get into it then with high score, since we've talked about it.
Yeah, what a triumph.
How much did you end up watching, Jeff?
I watched it all except for the last 15, 20 minutes of the episode 6, right? 6 episodes?
Yeah.
And that's almost exactly to the point I made it to. I would have had it. I was going to have it finished by the time we started, but then work interfered.
And then
So I have about 25 minutes left in the last episode.
Yeah, I had a little bit of work interference, and I actually had to do a snack attack. I might have snack attacked some expired seafood.
Fuck yes. Fuck yes. Oh my God, I cannot wait to watch that. And also, if you're a member of the Puminati Extreme Elite, I'm not going to give anything away, but you have to watch Jeff's most recent Between Two Flushes.
Oh my God, that was
no
so
topics given
I
away.
laughed in the middle of it.
I started that and I'm like, what the fuck is Jeff talking? Oh my God, what the fuck is Jeff talking about? Oh my God, what is Jeff talking about? I was laughing my dick off and I was like, wow, if that was the only thing that existed on the $10 tier, it would still be worth it.
Dude,
Just that one video.
I love that story. Did you do any more research about the story itself?
No, I feel like you summed it up perfectly. That's as much as I want to know.
She
I'm going to
talks
have
about
to
it
watch it.
She talks about it on a podcast, but it's just an Instagram girl who.
We don't have to give too much away.
yeah.
We should let people just watch it and
Yeah,
experience
don't.
it.
I want to go into it knowing as little as possible.
Oh man,
Right.
that should be in the contender for this year's Emmys.
Yeah, I was very. I really love talking about that one.
And
I've
I
been really
Documentary
busy, but
short film, you mean, right?
I could just see Jeff like he was in full autopilot riff mode, so he was just talking without thinking, and then certain stuff would leave his mouth, and he'd be like, Did I just say that? Anyway, full steam ahead.
I had a plan in my mind, and I just went with it.
Oh man, that was fucking great.
What a story, and God bless that woman. Honestly,
I agree. Yeah,
I got nothing bad to say.
So the high score thing we've been talking about, if you don't know, it's a limited documentary series on Netflix. High Score. It's like the history of video games and retro gaming and stuff. And I thought it was great. I watched every episode.
It's been riveting. I like the way that they tell the stories. I like how it's not necessarily just, it is linear, but it's not a beat by beat history. It's about, benchmark games and characters and really milestones in video game history.
Yeah, and I like you were saying, I do like how they structured the episodes, because they pull a couple different threads. Like they're following somebody who was in like a video game competition in 1990, and then they jump back to like one of the creators talking about how they came up with some iconic character. And for somebody who suffers from a terminal case of ADHD like myself, I like that bouncing from topic to topic, and then it's like, oh yeah, I forgot about this fucking dork that was in the Sonic competition in '94. Let's see. Let's get an update on him.
For ignorant people like me, I will say it is a little reading heavy at times.
Oh yeah, Shuddy hates subtitles.
I was gonna say too many subtitles, maybe. I meant that more. I was gonna say that as a joke though, but there were a lot. There were a lot of subtitles.
Which makes sense when you're talking about the history of video games. You have to talk to, the Japanese artists and game developers. So it would make sense that they'd be speaking Japanese. It just caught me a little off guard that first episode where the first 5 minutes I was reading. But it's it's very well done. I like how they mix in the 8-bit style graphics for, narrative, like dramatization. It's very well done.
Yeah, especially if you're in our age group and you grew up playing either like Nintendo, Atari, Super Nintendo, Genesis. It's very nostalgic. It brought me back, at least, to a very happy time in life. I liked some of the notes I took. I liked that they featured Jerry Lawson, who's a dude I just recently learned about, and I don't know if it was like, might have been something that tied in with Black History Month or something, but they were just like, here's a guy that basically nobody knows about. This dude is the godfather of home consoles. He was just like this engineering, programming genius, just a complete whiz.
And created the first console game.
Yeah.
Console game system.
Which was the Channel F, which I had never heard of, but that was the first. That paved the way for Atari, for ColecoVision, for all of them. And he just seemed like the article I read on him, like that had that picture that they showed in the documentary. He just looks like a very lovable, happy guy. I was like, oh man, just looking at a picture of this dude, I could tell this dude kicked ass. And I don't know, I thought he had a really interesting story. And I thought it was cool that they included him, because I was watching that, as I was watching, I was like, man, I really hope they include that guy. And then boom, they cut to his kids, and I was like, oh fuck yeah.
And I got a kick out of the story in the first episode of the MIT kids who ended up dropping out because they were making too much money.
Yeah.
The guy was like a triple major at MIT and 2 types of engineering and something else. And then how they went toe to toe with Atari and then just fucking bluffed their way into being able to make Miss Pac-Man. Yeah.
It was really cool. Like, and a lot of the stuff, like they get into, excuse me, I'm very gassy. I had to scarf down my dinner. When they got into the first person shooters and they were talking to the guys that made Wolfenstein, and then Doom, and I think it was like 5 people were involved in making the original Doom.
Yeah.
And they just put out a press release and sort of painted themselves into a corner. Like, we're going to make the greatest fucking game ever. It's going to kick ass. It's going to be gory. It's going to be advanced. And it's coming out on this date. And then they're like, fuck, now we have to make it.
They stuck the landing.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff you find out was really, especially with the earlier stuff, a lot of it was fly by the seat of the pants and hope something good comes out of it, because there was no sort of blueprint for what was going to be successful, what was going to work, what wasn't going to, what you were going to be able to get the technology that was available to do for you. Like it, it's crazy to think about how just, it was basically kids saying, I want to do this, and then finding a way to do it.
Yeah.
And, it's really cool. It was great.
Yeah, I like the process they showed of how they, fine tune things. And like when they got into the history of Star Fox, and they were like, yeah, that these dudes just cracked the code of 3D displays, and basically what was the gameplay of Star Fox, like seeing things from either a cockpit or a plane and flying through things, and how Miyamoto at Nintendo was like, yeah, I don't like all that freedom. We need to find some way to keep things from keep people just flying all over creation. And he came up with like the gates, and how he got inspired for Star Fox when he was at this Japanese temple, and the temple or the shrine was like honoring foxes, so he worked foxes into the game. And they're like, yeah, we had this flying game with no real direction to it. It was just like, yeah, fly through all this shit, shoot these bad guys. And then he was like, yeah, and then you know what, throw in these anthropomorphic cartoon guys as the pilots. And then it just the weirdest combination ever, and it works, and became a franchise and a giant hit. I thought the whole thing was just super interesting. Sometimes they veered off on like side stories and following people that weren't particularly all that interesting. But even the most boring...
I want to give Jeff Hansen a wedgie.
Noogie. He pissed you off?
Oh, man. Him and the fucking RPG... The RPG, like, I don't know.
The D&D couple?
The guy with the ponytail was just killing me.
The guy who created Ultima.
Yeah. That guy really bummed me out.
That guy's too much of a nerd. Get him.
He was honestly, yeah, pretty much. He was too much of a nerd. That's a good way of putting it. Jeff Voice and all.
I also like that they put the all the congressional stuff in there from when they started rating video games. Because I was one of the people, my buddy got a Sega CD, and we played a couple games. The one we played a lot was this game called Willy Beamish, which was kind of like a point-and-click style game. But I got a Sega CD for my birthday one year and got it with Night Trap. And at that point, every time you had a birthday, like all your friends came over for a sleepover and shit. So we stayed up until like 4 a.m. playing Night Trap, trying to beat it. Because it's almost like, what's that game? Is it Dragon's Lair or Dragon's Quest or something?
Dragon's Lair.
Yeah, where you're pretty much just along for the ride. You're just watching a thing, and then when you're prompted to hit a button, you have to hit it, or else game over. And it was a little bit like that. Like they shot it with actors, real actors, and you basically are somebody who's in a control room of this house, monitoring security feeds of security cameras all over the house, and you have to time it right to switch to a video feed when these bad guys were sneaking in, and you had to wait until they were at like a certain point where you could trigger a trap to either like make them fall into the floor or shoot them out the roof or kill them or something. And it's sort of just a memorizing thing. You pretty much just, if enough of those bad guys get through, the game's over and you start over again. So we stayed up all night just playing that over and over. But it wasn't all that violent. Like, there were parts, when they show in the documentary, they had these neck braces on hooks.
That story was so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, they wouldn't allow them to show vampires biting people's necks. So he's like, oh, how about this...
that game
neck
started
brace
off,
that drills into people's necks and sucks their blood out. And they're like, oh yeah, go for it.
Yeah, they wanted it to be ninjas. The developers wanted it to be ninjas, and it had to be violence that could not be easily recreated.
Yeah. So like the fucking they made it sound like this was Faces of Death or Texas Chainsaw Massacre, when the only blood you saw was when somebody got one of those neck things put around them. You saw their blood getting drained out through a tube. There was no splatters or anything like that. And you could tell, and even in the clips they showed of all those, politicians bitching and crying about it and, clutching their pearls. Oh, this is child abuse. It's like, it's so clear none of you motherfuckers have ever played the game, looked at it. You just saw a couple isolated clips and were like, oh, the children.
Yeah, you just found a way to insert yourself into a popular thing and make it about you.
Yeah.
Fucking quintessential politics. I guess not much has changed, though, right?
No. Not really.
And I remember that when Mortal Kombat did come out on the consoles, you had to put in a code if you wanted blood.
Yep. Yeah. Otherwise, all the fatalities were like lame and nothing came out when you punch people. I still remember when they started rating video games and seeing it in stores when they first implemented it. I like scoffed at it. I was like, this is so stupid. They think these things are movies. How ridiculous. This is never going to last. This isn't going to be a thing. And,
but
boy, is it a thing.
It doesn't have any effect, right? Like, I remember when they put it on there and I just never even cared. I don't know. Maybe, I guess it's all dependent on like who's your parents or whatever. But like, again, I guess it doesn't really matter if mostly all you play is Madden. So
yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I always got the E stamp on my shit. E for everyone. Hey, anyone can play Madden.
Old G-rated Clark.
Yeah, exactly. Milk Toast Clark just likes his football and his coffee black. Get off his lawn.
I've been in a GameStop before, like waiting online to buy something, and seen a kid get fucking denied for trying to buy a mature video game.
That's unbelievable. Like, if you're the guy that denies the kid, how much of a loser do you have to feel like? Or I guess they probably get off on it, right? Like, it's not like that type of person doesn't have that much power very often. So the one time they can exercise it, they do.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't necessarily know that it's that.
It's not like selling a kid a fucking pack of smokes and the cops are going to come by and
that's
arrest
true,
you,
but
right?
you'll have to deal with an angry parent. Why did you sell my 12-year-old this Grand Theft Auto 5? Like, it's probably company policy, not necessarily just a video game nerd,
Right, because one mom went Karen.
You just need one Karen to make your life living hell.
Yep, then they just update the company policy.
Karens ruin everything.
Yep. Stupid white bitches. Unbelievable.
I'm actually surprised that you enjoyed it, Geoff.
Why?
Well, when we talked about watching it, you were like, I'll give it a shot.
Well, I actually tried to watch it a little high and a little too tired, and I wasn't that into like the first episode. But then I circled back and watched it, and I knew I was gonna like it. Dude, that theme music, holy shit, is that cool? Anytime I ever do blow, I want the theme music from High Score playing. Like, that got me pumped up. Do you guys remember when Nintendo first came out? Because my only memory, like my first memories in the world, I just had Nintendo. I could just play Nintendo.
I got a Nintendo for my 6th birthday.
I think I got it for my 5th. Because my aunt, who's only like 10 years older than me, we lived in the same house growing up, and she had Atari. So when she would go off to school, I would sneak in her room and play her Atari all the time. And I can't remember if she got a Nintendo first, and then I played that a bunch. But I think around Christmas, or maybe it was my birthday. Either Christmas or my birthday when I was 5 or 6 was when I got the Nintendo. And it was all downhill from there.
I just came out the womb playing Nintendo, I guess. Did Sega, do you remember the Sega Genesis versus Super Nintendo like rivalry? Because I remember it, I remember being into Sega when it first came out, liking Sonic, and I thought that was the first console that did Madden, right? But then I remember Super Nintendo coming out, me getting Super Nintendo, my Sega breaking, and me just fully becoming pro Super Nintendo, pro Nintendo, so much so that I didn't even get Dreamcast when it came out. I was just over. I really thought I was always just only going to buy a Nintendo console. Like Nintendo, I always thought was just going to be one of my lifelong brands, and it's not anymore, and it kind of bums me out. But were you guys more pro Sega or Nintendo? Nintendo, excuse me.
My cousin Scott had a Genesis, so that was what I played mostly. I had a couple of friends that had Genesises, and I think only one of them had a Super Nintendo, and I had neither. So it was just Genesis was what I was more exposed to.
I had a Super Nintendo, and I was always a Nintendo kid because I loved like Zelda games and stuff. And I remember when Genesis came out, my mom was like, "No, I'm not buying you another fucking console. Get out of here." And a couple of my buddies got it, and I remember going over their house and how like stoked I was to play Sonic. And my one buddy Paul got that game Toe Jam and Earl. So every weekend I would go to his house and we would just play Toe Jam and Earl all day and night. And I think a few years into Genesis's existence, I wore her down and got a Genesis. And mostly just used it to play Sonic and Toe Jam and Earl.
Not Sonic games. Sega games at that time they were edgier.
Yeah.
They were edgier than Nintendo games, and that's where the divide and where, with Nintendo and its competitors started. Because, there were games on Genesis that I loved playing, like Road Rash.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Like,
fuck me.
And then there was that game Skitchin that I enjoyed playing a lot.
Skitchin?
Yeah, it was like Road Rash, but you were on rollerblades. And you could like grab onto the back of cars like Marty McFly.
But see, Super Nintendo. They had Contra.
Genesis stuff on your Super Nintendo, Kevin?
Do I have Genesis games on it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
On the emulator.
Fuck yeah. Yeah,
you
tons
should
of them.
see if Skitchin is on there and use that for one of your nerd holes. That's my official recommendation.
I should.
You should definitely do Road Rash.
Like, I would be so happy if they came out with, like just a redone Road Rash to download or some sort of next gen version of it. I would be so thrilled. They had it on PlayStation 1, I believe, and that was a lot of fun too.
Yeah, it's not overly complicated. I think they should totally do it. Dude, I used to love just punching dudes until they fell off the bike.
Yeah, or grabbing somebody's bat and beating them.
Yeah, catching their bat mid fucking swing, just whooping their ass with their own baseball bat. What a great video game. All right, hold on, keeping up with this. Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat? Actually, you know what? We don't have to do this. This documentary inspired me. I want to do another bracket. We talked about this before previously. I teased it, but you guys weren't that interested. Me and Cheech were trying to do a video game bracket, but it's so fucking difficult. And one of the cool things about this documentary kind of points out the difficulty. So it has 6 episodes, and what you could, as the review should kind of signify to you, they more deal with genres than they do anything else. And for a bracket, you got to do 4 regions, and it's hard to boil video games down into 4 buckets.
Then don't use buckets. Just pit video games against each other.
Well, it has to be a bracket, so it's the tournament that eventually.
Yeah,
right. But he's just saying, just put you don't have to go. He's saying, don't go that deep into it. Just
don't treat it like the snack bracket.
Yeah, just have 32 games and just pit them against each other at random, instead of dividing them up into regions.
I'm working on it in the Clark think tank, and I'll get back to you guys. It's inspired me. But yeah, like, again, 6 episodes, so 6 genres. It's hard to bucket these things. But I thought High Score did a really good job, honestly. And I enjoyed the documentary. What's with it in video game documentaries? They fucking kill it.
Well, because they're made by nerds for nerds.
Yeah, but I wouldn't consider. I mean, I do like video games. But I wouldn't consider myself a nerd. But like King of Kong is one of the better documentaries ever.
Well, I mean,
in my opinion,
with King of Kong,
I've watched a. Sorry, Kevin. Go ahead.
What makes King of Kong so epic are the people in it.
And I've watched other documentaries that have most of those same characters in it. The Twin Galaxies guy, Billy Mitchell, like they show up in several video game documentaries, and they're just as fun to watch as King of Kong.
Yeah, it's something about video game documentaries. I mean, I guess you have a whole bunch of like old footage. Oh, so what episode was it with the guy with the mullet? What episode was this? Help me out here.
That was the Nintendo episode.
Okay. So they kept showing like footage, or not footage,
but it was like a Nintendo game counselor training video. And it was an old game counselor dressed like he did back then.
Okay, so that's what I thought I saw, but I'm watching it with Cheech, and I forget exactly how this came out or how the conversation exactly played out, but he thought that was footage from the 80s.
No,
and I'm just like, no, it's that guy wearing a fucking mullet wig, and
that's
they just
exactly what it was.
They just put a post-production filter over the shot. And that's what you saw. And he's like, nah, I don't know. He said he had a mullet, and he had a mullet in that video. I was like, no, wait. I was just like, that's actually what got me to turn it off. Was this the first episode?
No,
what episode is this? It was the second. I was like, I was so mind blown that Cheech didn't know that was like a reenactment, but like that guy currently, and he's wearing a mullet. And it fucked me up. I thought I was the moron. I was like, no, wait, that's that guy now wearing a mullet, and they just did a filter over. He's like, no, he had a mullet in the 80s. That's him from the 80s. It's like, what the fuck? Like, I thought there was another Jeff Clark being a dumbass, but nope, it's my brother. Cool. Anyways,
hey, you
how
can
many
both,
high score dicks you guys?
You can both be dumbasses.
Sure.
I don't know. I feel like
is this not scoreable? Is there too many episodes to score it?
It's tough, but I don't know. I feel like they did the right thing because it was over and I still wanted more. And you always want to leave people wanting more. But I feel like there could have been more. So maybe this was them testing the waters, and maybe they'll make more episodes. But
the way they did it, like Jeff said, focusing on, or we all said focusing on specific milestones, it leaves them room to do more.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they could do a whole episode on Fortnite, which people might be bummed out about. But again, the success Fortnite has been just absolutely crazy, absurd. So
I know. I
mean, and yeah, you can do a whole esports shit, Call of Duty. So yeah, they could definitely go back and produce a whole another 6 episodes.
And I loved how much video game competitions they put in there. And for somebody who's been so vocal about esports, it clicked right before they started showing it. Like they transitioned from one of those mall touring video game competitions to an esports arena. Right before they'd made that cut, I was like, oh, you know what? It's kind of just, that's esports. And they're like, yeah, no, esports is a $1 billion industry. I was like, oh, man. Because as a kid, that was like my dream. After watching that Fred Savage movie, The Wizard, which was basically just a Nintendo propaganda movie.
That's all. It was a commercial for the fucking Power Glove.
Yeah. And it worked because I bought a Power Glove, and all I wanted to do was go to a mall and be in one of those video game competitions, like playing Super Mario 3 and try to like beat some dork from Parsippany and get more coins or something. Like that was... I feel like if there was a magic genie lamp that I stumbled upon and it was like, all right, you can't like fly or have superpowers or anything, but you can wish for realistic things. I would wish to be in a fucking video game competition as a kid.
I think though it takes a lot. It takes a lot of like hard work to do that.
I know.
My brother like is nasty at video games, and he does like legit training sessions for like certain video games, like that video game Valorant, which is really popular now. Like he's got like workout sessions, training sessions where he's training his like aim and shit. And I've tried to do one of them. It's insanely difficult. But
So wait, is there like a program that he runs, or does he just make up his own exercises and he practices them?
no, there's like, I think on Valorant specifically, you can do like just like training programs, or you train your accuracy and your quick shooting ability or whatever. So like a bunch of targets or people will run out and you got to shoot them, but they just flash for a second. So you got to be like super fast. And I don't know, like my brother, I watch him, it's like 30 seconds, and you know, I don't know how many people you can shoot at, but my brother hit like 15 in 30 seconds. I got 0. I wasn't even close. And like I'm at the point where I'm just like, it's moving so fast that I'm just holding down the trigger and just like going all over the fucking thing.
That's your style.
Like,
That's how you play Fortnite.
yeah.
You see a bad guy and you're just like,
Yeah. I try to take out the whole.
You go full John Rambo trying to take out the whole platoon.
Yeah, I took out the whole fucking block, dude. I'm just street sweeping, dude. Getting everyone. Innocent bystanders. Don't walk on the street when G Murder's coming through. That's what they say.
I don't know. I guess I would give it 4.25 dicks. I wasn't as into the D&D episode, although I did like how they tied it into Final Fantasy and stuff, and I found that interesting. But
I enjoyed that episode because the first part of it was nostalgic for me. Like when we first had a computer when I was a kid, you know, it was only those text-based adventure games. And then as we would upgrade computer, there were a lot of Sierra games that we played, me and my cousin, like King's Quest and stuff. So to have that referenced, that was unexpected. And was nice. And the Ultima guy was he was nuts. And as soon as they said what game he created, I was like, checks out. That checks out. I get it now. Like, all right, of course, that's the guy who created Ultima, who started out on making it on fucking teletype.
so do you guys have a dick rating?
I would say I'm with you, 4.25.
I'll go
well worth the almost 6 hours.
I enjoyed it. I'll go 4. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and they're not all, like the episode lengths kind of vary. I think the longest one is either like 41 or 45 minutes or something like that.
I think 47. So yeah, they're all under an hour.
Some that are like 30 something minutes.
Yeah, it was well done. It was well done.
All right, you guys want to hear some more from the school paper?
Yeah, let me just go grab a do first.
A do.
Prep
do
your
chode.
vocal exercises.
Man, I've just been caught up in this fucking world of nostalgia lately. Like watching that docuseries, reading through my old high school newspapers. I found dozens and dozens of tapes from when I was in college and high school and doing stunts and stuff, all my old stunts. So I've been going through those because I found one of my like really, really high-end camcorders that I can plug an HDMI cable into and then plug that into my capture card and rip all of it. So that's where all this stuff that I've been posting on Instagram is coming from. And I found a bunch of like stuff from college. So on the MSPH Instagram account, I put up that montage of Shuddy Boy like pile driving me into the pool and shit.
I was so happy when I saw that video, when you sent me that. I was like, what video is this? And I was like, it's me spearing Kevin into the pool, giving him the rock bottom, stone cold stunning him.
Yeah, I'm getting a kick out of all your old videos.
Well,
Hey, Jeff, an hour and 48 minutes, buddy.
I got a bunch in the hopper ready to go. I'm trying to space them out, so keep an eye in the old IG. I got
between that
lots
and
more
what
to come.
This is the podium, right?
Yeah. So the podium, the movie reviews I did this installment were Basketball and The Other Sister.
The Other Sister. Wow.
And I was very easy to please back in those days. They both got 5 dicks.
Juliette Lewis and Giovanni Ribisi, if
Yeah.
I'm remembering correctly, right?
Yeah.
I'm pulling it up on IMDb right now. Hold on. Diane Keaton too. I don't remember this.
Yeah, they
Oh,
both
short hair Julia Lewis. Oh, bummer.
and also
Juliette
mentally
Lewis
challenged.
and Giovanni Ribisi are developmentally challenged.
Uh-oh.
And they're
on the spectrum?
Yes, they're on the spectrum, and it's basically about it's like it's a drama, but it's also a love story between these two people on the spectrum.
I'm sure the Podium's movie critic would do a good job of breaking this down for the audience.
Yeah, do it. Sorry. I forgot that's what we were.
No. I mean, I don't know. If
where are you trying to lead us, Jeff?
My bad. Go ahead. You do the leading.
I was just I'm looking it up to see because I gave it a 5 dick, and it was okay. So IMDb has it as 6.5. So maybe people didn't like it as much as I did when I was in high school. And you'd think that like a 16, 17-year-old Kevin would be goofing on it. Maybe they didn't let me, but I gave it a good score.
You're going to put this on your editor?
Yeah. He probably kept me from getting in trouble quite a bit. But let's see. This is a love story about 2 mentally challenged people who fall in love.
You wrote that.
I did. Quotation marks and everything.
Nice.
Carla was sent to a special school when she was young and then later returned home to her controlling mother. She was dying to be independent, so she enrolled herself in a normal school. While she was waiting on the admissions line, she met someone who is just like her, Daniel. They became friends, and they find they have a lot of feelings for each other. Blah, 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 blah. The best parts of this movie are when Carla and Daniel have conversations, especially those about sex.
And that is why you gave it 5 stars right there. That sums it up in a nutshell.
I thought this movie was going to be boring, but I enjoyed it a lot. I had a great time. It was funny, sad, happy, everything.
You nail all the emotions.
I strongly suggest this movie to any carbon-based life form. Everyone will enjoy this movie.
I wouldn't believe that. I endorse this movie to any carbon-based life form. Like, all right, dude. Not interested.
Supposedly, I went and saw this with my mom and my little sister. They both loved it.
Is that according to the review?
Yeah.
Nice. I mean, that makes more sense than like you going to see it with your friends. I mean, it's a PG-13 movie. You said you're 16. I don't see. I'd assume that you're going to rip this pretty hard. Honestly, I'm a little disappointed.
I mean, there's one thing I've noticed from my movie reviews in the Podium. I was very generous with the 5 dickers.
Sure, but this, I mean,
I gave episode 1 5 dicks.
You said what?
I gave Star Wars episode 1 5 dicks. Ooh.
Is that the Phantom Menace?
Yeah, the first prequel, yeah. I just looked up. I know, I was very easy to please.
You were just slobbing every knob.
I think I was just
get your hands on.
Happy to get off of campus.
You're a real movie skank, huh?
Yeah. And
so
I looked up
5 dicks here.
I looked up Rotten The Other Sister on Rotten Tomatoes, and it has a 29%.
Yeah, we go off of IMDb here, though. I hate Rotten Tomatoes. I still just don't even take that shit seriously. It's on the ban list.
Well, one of the review blurbs says, has neither the imagination nor the reach of Forrest Gump. It's like, hey, As long as we're talking about movies with bing bongs, I like Forrest Gump better.
With pink. Oh man, I've referenced Forrest Gump a lot lately, and I haven't even seen it in maybe like a year. I'm gonna rewatch Forrest Gump.
I saw it enough when I was younger. The other movie I watched was Basketball.
See, this I would expect to be a 5-dicker.
Oh yeah, easy.
6, the unprecedented 6-dicker.
I don't know if I ever broke the 5-dick mold in my professional movie reviewing days.
Not even in your podcast movie days. You keep it.
I try to
pretty in range.
I try to have some sort of gold standard to which I'm held.
Yeah, I have some movie review decorum.
All right, so next we'll do the Campus Speaks Out of this issue because it wasn't all that great for this one. It basically focused on the dress code. So a quick little history leading up to this. So when I got the reason I went to this school is because I started smoking weed. I was kind of in with a bad crowd, and I was completely fucking off and getting left behind in public school. Like, my grades were horrible. My family panicked, and they guilted me into taking a tour. They were like, we found this school. It's for people that have learning disabilities and ADHD. It's like specially geared towards you to help you and all that shit.
They'll like, accept your problems.
Yeah. They're like, we really want you to go. At least just go and take a tour of the place. And it was in fucking Massachusetts. So, you know, it was kind of a bitch drive from New Jersey to Massachusetts, especially when you're younger. Car rides just feel a million times longer when you're younger.
Yes.
So we go up there, and I'm taking a tour of the campus, and I think this might have been over the summer, or it was like the tail end of that school year. And I saw people on the soccer field, like just smoking ciggies out in the open. And, you know, I'm walking, my mom and I are walking with one of the administrators, and we just walk by some teenage kids smoking ciggies. And I was like, whoa, you can smoke here?
I can get down with this.
And she was like, yeah, as long as you have your parents' permission, you are allowed to have and smoke cigarettes on campus. And I looked at my mom, and she was like, we'll talk. So I'm like, oh, this could be kind of cool.
Wait, so did you leverage that policy? Like, did you leverage her wanting you to go to that school as a chance for you to sign off on smoking cigarettes?
No, I wasn't ready to make that huge of a change in my life, to go to fucking boarding school in Massachusetts just so I could smoke cigarettes at school.
Okay, but
it was a plus. I was like, okay, if we're allowed to just fucking, we have the staff blessing, because I was so used to fucking smoking cigarettes in the bathroom while somebody kept a lookout. Like, the bathrooms at my school always smelled like freshly smoked cigarettes because people were always smoking cigarettes in there. And if, you know, you heard a teacher come in, you just dropped it in the bowl and flushed. And they couldn't really pin it on anybody because it fucking always smelled. But it was like, wow, this would be kind of interesting. Like, as I'm walking to my next class, I can just fucking light up a cig. All right, that's kind of cool. And everybody was wearing like jeans and t-shirts and stuff. And I was like, okay, all right, sweet. So my family gave me that whole thing, like, we're not forcing you to go, but it would really mean the world to us if you tried it out and went to summer school here. And I begrudgingly agreed. And I was like, all right, fine. I'll do the summer school there, but then I get to go back to public school, right? She was like, yeah. So I go there for summer school. They instituted a dress code and banned smoking on campus. In just, it didn't, the next school year hadn't even started. Like, that school year ended. They were like, okay, starting at summer school this year, dress code, no cigs. So that was a huge bummer. But then I met this chick that I liked, and we started dating, and we were still boyfriend and girlfriend when summer school ended. And I was like, oh man, I miss my girlfriend. Emo Kevin, sad.
Summer loving had me a blast.
So,
summer loving happened so fast.
I didn't know how deep you were going. I was going to give you a little leeway there, Geoff.
Yeah, I gotta Google the rest of it. So go ahead.
So I think I got maybe my first week of public school for junior year, and was like, you know what? Can you call them up and ask if I can go back to Bing Bong school? And I did. And the girl that I went back for dumped me within a week.
What'd you do?
Nothing. In the week that I wasn't there, she met some other kid who wasn't there during summer school.
What a floozy.
So, like, right when I came back, like, I get to campus and I'm like, oh, I got to go find her. And we got a big hug, and I could instantly tell something was off. And it was like, oh, motherfucker. Something's weird going on. And then a week later,
was moving on my lady.
Yep. Yeah, I took too long. So, capricious youth. She found a new dude within a week.
Nah.
But
and now they're married. They have 4 kids.
So that kind of plays into the whole subject of This Campus Speaks Out. Do you like the dress code? And here's what some of the students said. They interviewed 3 students and 3 teachers. One student, who was kind of a nerd but kind of cool too, said, I think it should be more specific, which I don't know what that means.
Doesn't sound very cool.
I think the dress code just was you had to wear like slacks, no jeans, and a button-down shirt tucked in. So he thought it should be more specific. My friend Nancy said, I don't like the dress code. I think we should be able to wear whatever we want. It's out of style. Dress codes are out of style. And then one of the teachers, who was actually one of the cool ones, who I actually enjoyed, said, I don't think the dress code is stringent enough. You fucking dork. And then the other student they talked to said, I don't mind the dress code at all. It does not bother me. I think even public schools should have them so that there would be no competition based on clothing. Check her for a wire.
No, there's something to be said for that. Because imagine, I mean, kids get bullied or shamed for being poor, and it ain't their fault.
I don't know, because when I was in public high school, it was the days of grunge, so everybody wanted to look poor. Like, it was all ripped up, oversized jeans and ratty flannel shirts.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I think there's some logic in the idea of having like uniforms for school. And it makes it easier for, whatever, school shopping, school clothes.
I think someone needs to check Geoff for a wire. Where's Cheech?
All right, I'm just trying to make a pro school dress code argument. Someone's got to zag on this. It can't be all agreement. I don't know, put on a fucking... What did you have to wear? Slacks and a tucked-in button-down shirt?
Yeah.
It's not even that big of a deal.
No.
Being a bitch. What else does the campus have to say about this?
That's it. It was a lame one. That's why I didn't end with it.
Diversity is good, We'll never beat that.
I know. That's a very high watermark.
I mean,
what do you think about Diversity Week?
Like that?
Diversity is good. All right, get that to print.
Yeah, all right, we'll go with that.
So this is from Volume 1, Issue 2. This is in the infancy of the podium. And I guess that brings us to the Crafty Horoscopes. All right, call it out again, Geoff. Geoff's gone. Shuddy, you're Capricorn?
Yes, sir.
I heard that Ed McMahon is headed your way. But then again, I have been known to get bad gossip. Just in case, keep your fingers crossed. Remember, I get 25% just for being cool. Man, all I was trying to, everything about these horoscopes was about me getting something. They're the most selfish horoscopes ever. Like, hey, any good fortune comes your way, cut your boy in on it.
Yeah, it's very self-interest motivated in these horoscopes. It's a bummer.
Yeah.
Can't put yourself in the story, Kevin.
I couldn't help
journalism.
I couldn't help it. I had to. What are you again, Geoff?
I'm a Virgo.
Oh yeah, that's right, the Virgo Messiah.
You son of a bitch.
Keep on striving for your goals. Don't give up. If you're in the middle of a big project and are losing motivation, tough it out and you'll be rewarded. Hard work pays off. Wow, I wasn't even trying with that one. Not a joke to be found.
All right. Well, it's an uplifting message that motivates me, or should be used as motivation. Thank you. I will work harder to accomplish my goals.
Man, I really did just go way too seriously and right down the middle with a lot of these. Oh, here's a good one for Aquarius. Keep your friends closer than you keep your enemies. Keeping your enemies close is plain old ridiculous. That makes it easier for them to hit you.
I don't know. I thought it was sage advice in The Godfather, but I hear you.
Let's see. What else do we have here? Oh, here's a good one. This is for Scorpio. Concentrate on your strengths. Ignore your weaknesses. Once you get the easy stuff done, then do the hard stuff. Take it one step at a time. And give me money.
Of course.
Nice. Always goes back to that.
Yeah.
Kevin's cut.
Old man Kraft always got his hand out.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Got us 10%.
Let's see.
Let me get my cut.
Anything else good in here? All right, well, here's mine. Here's Cancer, which always kicked ass. Your crush is starting to notice you. Good grades are headed your way. You will be named King/Queen of the world. Not to mention the Nobel Peace Prize. What?
All right.
Okay.
The horoscope writer's smoking pot again.
Let's see. How about this? Let's see what Leo says. Depend on the advice of others. You'll be faced with events in which you'll have to depend on friends. But for crying out loud, don't go and jump off a cliff if someone advises it. Come on now!
Your friend told you to jump off a bridge. Did you do it?
Yeah. This clears that up.
Don't do that, according to the Podium's horoscope section.
Nope. Don't do that. That's bad.
Do not do that.
All right, here's Pisces. Respect your elders. Old people know more. But if they're too old, they know less. So don't respect really old people. But, I just...
Literally the most fucked thing you could say.
All right, hold on. Let's go back to this. But if they're too old, they know less. So don't respect really old people. But, I just confused myself. That's the end. What the hell's the matter with you, Geoff?
Nothing. Oh, like my text messages popped up and I'm...
Oh, is that what that noise was?
Did you hear it on your end?
I heard a mild bloop bloop.
Yeah, my bad.
No, it was just...
I had like a tab open that I didn't know it was open. My G chat was connected.
Dude, I keep getting fucked because I didn't even do it. My new MacBook Pro automatically synced to my iPhone. So sometimes when I get texts, the laptop rings. So at the start of the Ellis show today, I get a text and my computer starts like bing, like popping off. I'm like, oh, fuck. And the mic's picking it up and it's going out over the air. Basically what I'm saying is, I feel you, Geoff. I've been there.
No, I hear you, dude. I mean, I think that's one of the cooler things. I actually really like the text message and iMessage integration with my MacBook. But I've done that a few times on a podcast or a video chat where my shit just starts going off and I have to go into preferences real quick and shut it off or disconnect it.
All right, I'll do one more horoscope before we finish up this week's edition of The Podium. This is the featured, so this is for Aries. So whatever month had their birthday, that got it like a featured box. So Aries says, start saving money. You might need something in the future. It's all right to lend money to people who do horoscopes, of course. I mean, hey, they decide your future. You want a good future, right?
You're just like panhandling on all these fucking horoscopes.
I know. I can't believe my editor wasn't like, hey, how about you try a different joke this time?
Or do you need some money? Like, do you want me to start buying your lunch?
All right, there you go. There's a little trip down memory lane with the podium. Some 21-year-old horoscopes.
Podium at the ping pong school.
I watched a couple other things.
I watched one thing that I could review, but
What's that?
I watched Boy State.
I don't even know what that is. I don't think.
It's a Apple Plus TV exclusive. It's a documentary that got some award at Sundance about this political camp with 1,000 boys go to every summer who have like political aspirations. It's in Texas. I think the American Legion like sponsors it or hosts or whatever.
Uh-oh, do people get molested?
No, it's a whole bunch of like young political junkies or wannabe or I don't know,
Political junkies.
Kids who aspire to be future politicians, and they're going to like camp for it. It's like anything else, like a basketball camp, a space camp. This is what they want to do when they get old.
What do you think has the bigger nerds? Space camp or politics camp?
I mean, I feel like it's politics camp. I think the least of politicians out of all the humans, if you want to consider them humans. So I was hoping something really bad was going to happen in Boy State, but nothing that bad happened.
There were like two kids in my high school that were like legitimately into politics, and we were like, what a fucking dork.
There was a whole bunch of kids in my high school that were into politics, and I fucking hated it. I absolutely hated it. I still am one of those. I can't stand talking politics. It makes me pretty uncomfortable most times. So I try to steer clear of it.
But you watched a documentary on it.
Well, I heard enough good reviews, and I need something to review. I feel like you guys always are reviewing cool shit, and I figured no one would see that, or not you or Shuddy would see that. So I
figured right.
Bring something unique to the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to do here. Every now and then I'll run into something that you guys don't watch. That's pretty awesome, and I'll recommend it, and it works for the Puminati. Like the morning
I'm not
shows.
hating. I'm not hating.
Yeah, it feels like you're fucking hating. I feel attacked right now. I feel fucking attacked. It wasn't that good. I mean, it was somewhat interesting. It was interesting following these kids and just how motivated they were to succeed at politics. Politics sucks, though. It's such an annoying, bullshit, phony field. And these kids being good at it, I don't think is the right lesson to teach them. But the actual documentary, the layout of it, just the kids that they followed, it was interesting. So I'll give it credit for that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to get too far into the political weeds. It's an hour and 58 minutes, reasonable timeline. I'll go ahead and I'll give it 3.75 dicks.
I mean, that's a relatively high Jeff Clark score.
I like documentaries. It was a couple of the kids' stories were interesting, and I just feel like even if you hate politics, you should watch it because you need to get some insight on how these people think and how they are young, how they are when they're younger. And what I thought was most interesting is how emotional these kids got at the end of this experience of this camp. And one of the kids who there was two kids going for the governor of the camp. So the goal is there's two parties established. One's the Federalist, one's the Nationalist. And just like political parties, they're structured, and you got to like win votes, and you got to win support from your party and from the other party. And eventually there's one winner, and there's a governor, and there's a whole back end political bullshit that takes place. So anyways, all the emotion and all the like success is attributed to whether or not you win or lose the election, right? So at the end, these kids are crying like, "Oh my God, the platform that you ran on, the party that you ran, the campaign that you ran, it was so inspiring, it was so great, and like, you're going to be such a star," that type of shit, right? But like the whole motivation was winning the election, right? And that's what politics is. But there's never any consideration for actually doing the fucking job, right? For actually helping people, for actually structuring society. There's never any talk about that. It's just a matter of fooling other people to thinking you know what you're talking about or you agree with them. So it's just like political bullshit that we hear nowadays, and these kids are doing the same thing. Like, you know what's great about this country? You know what's great about the Nationalist Party is that we're willing to listen to you, and we want to make your problems important to us, and we want you to understand that it's important. And at the end of the day, all they're trying to do is win elections. They're not actually trying to help people. But I thought like watching essentially up and coming pieces of shit move, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's interesting. Like, it's a former, like, Dick Cheney went to this camp, Bill Clinton went to this camp, you know, like political superstars go to this thing. So
it was funny watching you just fire yourself up as that sentence went on.
It's just like, man, these kids are crying at the end of this, talking about like how motivated they were and how exciting it was to see their, you know, a peer, a kid with mutual interests trying to win election. It's like, dude, the goal is to help people, not for your own fucking self-interest. Like, that's not how politics should be. And it's just, I don't know. Yeah, so I can get fired up talking about it sometimes. That's why I don't like talking about politics, because I just tend to troll all parties.
Yeah,
that's where I resort to. That's what I resort to.
Geoff went to troll camp.
Yeah, exactly. I want to go throw fucking eggs at the boy state.
So I just a quick review. I watched the first episode of a new series, Lovecraft Country on HBO.
Very interested.
I haven't watched last night's episode. A new one came out. I haven't watched it yet, but I watched the first one, and I really enjoyed it. Like, the opening scene is like a dream sequence, and it was like my jaw was on the floor. I was like, oh my God. Like, I know that this is like a fantasy/dream sequence, whatever this is, but if this is a tone that they're just capable of hitting, I'm so fucking pumped. And then it kind of, you know, the guy who's dreaming wakes up, and it sort of just sets the tone for the series. Like, you meet the characters and stuff, and the actors are all awesome. Like, everybody in it kicks ass. And they don't really... So it's kind of like, obviously, Lovecraft, so it's touching on, like, cosmic horrors, some sort of horror element based on Lovecraft. And they even in the first episode, they talk about H.P. Lovecraft and instantly address how he was a fucking raging racist.
Okay, wait a second. Help me out here. What the fuck is Lovecraft? Is that a thing?
He's a writer.
Yeah, he was like an old school horror writer. He created Cthulhu. You know,
I think I've heard of that before.
He was in an episode of South
Godzilla?
Park. Yeah, he's basically like
that's what's Godzilla.
He's like a Godzilla with tentacles on his face.
But
he flies.
They went one-on-one once, right?
I don't know if Cthulhu ever made it into the Godzilla universe.
I don't think
it was in an episode of South Park. That's the best I can relate it to you, Geoff.
Okay, all right. I've heard that name before, so that's what it was. South Park, not Godzilla.
But he was a raging racist, and like, I got this comic book artist that I really like. I donated to his Kickstarter because they were putting out a hardcover edition of Call of Cthulhu, and he was illustrating it. And there's a disclaimer in the beginning that's like, yeah, we took out all of his horribly racist shit. So this is the edited, neutered version.
Bummer, right?
Because apparently
I want the regular version.
That dude just like dunked on black people like in all of his writings for fucking no reason whatsoever. Like, raging piece of shit.
Is that where like the old concept where the black guy dies first comes from? Is this guy's writing?
It might be. I don't know. I've never really read any of his stuff other than that book, and I didn't know he was a raging racist until I read that disclaimer. But they get into that quick in the series. But Courtney B. Vance is in it, and God, that dude fucking crushes. He's awesome.
A guy.
He's awesome. He fucking rules, and he is so good in this. He doesn't even have that complex of a character or anything, but that dude can act his fucking nuts off. And then, it ends, it's a mostly black cast, and, it's in the, I don't even know what time period it takes place in, maybe like the 50s or something, but, there's still
50s.
Horribly racist cops and the awful scumbags. Like, they go on a road trip at the end, and they go through states that are like, black people aren't allowed to be out past sundown, and then a fucking sheriff is chasing them, trying to like keep them out past sundown so he can lynch them. Like, it's horrifying racist shit they're putting up with. And then it goes into like horrifying, well, not horrifying, but supernatural shit and like, monsters. So far, first episode fucking ruled. And I'm really pumped to watch the second episode. I started the series to record. Lovecraft Country on HBO so far kicks ass. Big fan.
This is important, Kevin, and thank you. Thank you for doing that review, because I needed to hear from someone I respected. That's kind of you, that this is actually pretty good. HBO is one of my brands, and I'm a little bummed out that I haven't seen it yet. So I'm definitely going to put this on my radar and check it out, and I'll catch up. It's episode 3 is coming out. Episode 2 just aired yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll catch up by episode 3. I'm interested. We'll follow along. And if it's something to be pumped on, we'll know. And I think we can tell the Puminati to get on board come episode 4 or 5. You know how many are in the season?
I don't, but they're hour-long episodes. And the first episode really was, followed that pilot format of, nothing too earth-shattering happens. It just sets the scene and lets you get to know the characters. But I was loving it.
Does it leave you on a crazy cliffhanger?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now we're talking.
I mean,
got to get over there.
Not especially crazy, but it ends and you're like, oh, fuck. If episode 2 was out right now, I would have started it right now.
The black guys are actually white?
Yeah, that's the twist.
Oh, my God. This series is going to blow my mind.
The other thing I watched a movie. Have you guys heard about Host?
No.
Only in our conversation yesterday on when we were playing Fall Guys.
So Host is a new movie that was filmed entirely over Zoom. It's a horror movie set in quarantine time, filmed over Zoom. And it's a Shudder exclusive, so if you have that horror movie streaming service Shudder, you can watch it, or you can sign up for a free trial. I signed up for a free trial when I was on What the Fuck Did I Just Watch with Shuddy and Dom to watch Tammy and the T-Rex on there. And this service kicks so much ass, I was just like, oh, I'm making the conscious effort to leave this subscription active.
I have not watched it since then. I never canceled my subscription, and I luckily had it to watch the most recent movie for What the Fuck Did I Just Watch, but I've been paying for it since then and have not used it once.
I really dig it. I think it's a kick-ass service, and like I have it through my Prime on my PS4, so that's how I like access it and stuff. But either way, so Host was made by this dude. It's like 55 minutes long, and this group of friends gets on Zoom, and they get they hold a seance, and they get this woman who's like, I don't even know what you would call her, like master of the dark arts, but that she's just like a hippie lady.
A medium.
A medium. Yeah, there we go.
Nice. Good job, Shuddy. Good job.
See, I knew you were going to Shuddy me at some point, right? Oh, man. Where'd they go?
Does that count?
You got shut the fuck down.
I'll give it to him.
I would have never
because
gotten there. Good job.
Because he was so thirsty to shoot his Shuddy juice all over my face in the Easter egg.
Yeah. You got to be motivated to Shuddy us every episode.
So they
Always motivated to shuddy you guys.
they get this medium on the Zoom call, and she lays out the rules. They start the seance. Somebody breaks the rules. The connection gets severed. They get her back, and then weird shit starts happening, like paranormal activity stuff. Shuddy, I was describing this to Shuddy when we were playing Fall Guys, and he was like, "Nope, that's too scary. I'm out."
Shuddy doesn't like ghosts.
Not even one bit.
It was creepy. I'll give him that. It had some cool shit. You know, it had the usual tropes of like a paranormal activity type where like all you see is just a dark hallway and it's completely silent and it's just going and you're like, oh fuck, what the hell's gonna jump out and scare me right now? But it was effective. I liked it. It had creepy elements and you know, it's an easy eye roll. I've even said like fuck quarantine movies. And it wasn't like rooted in quarantine and about quarantine. It was about, you know, an evil spirit attacking them and they just happened to be on Zoom. So it wasn't like, you know, a movie about somebody trapped alone in COVID times or whatever fucking movies they're cooking up that I have no interest in watching. I thought it was solid. I want to know how they did a lot of this stuff. I want to know like how they shot it, what the preparation was, what sort of crew was on hand for it, because it seemed really well made. And I looked it up, like the crew and all that, and the actors and actresses, everybody, like if the girl's name was like Jessica or something, her name in real life was also Jessica. Like every actor was going by their first name in the movie. And it did take some pretty clever devices by working in features of Zoom into, you know, a haunted spirit type movie. I thought it was solid. And especially at 55 minutes, I feel like that would be a tough movie to watch 90 minutes of or 2 hours of, but a crisp, solid 55 minutes, it was worth my time. Give it 3.75 dicks.
Oh, you're going to suck 3.75 host dicks. Nice.
Yeah.
I
liked
watched
it.
something that I forgot to review on last episode.
Oh.
Called Killing Hasselhoff.
I think I've seen that in my scrolling.
Oh, it is. It's a little rough to watch.
I believe you.
It was a rough watch. It was really dumb. There's not much to say. Basically what it is Ken Jeong is a nightclub owner who owes money to a mobster played by Will Sasso.
Okay.
And what?
I said okay.
And he's friends, and Jim Jeffries is in it, and him and his friends have a death pool every year, and they pick a celebrity to die, and if they die, they win the pool, and it just happens to be enough as much as he owes the mobster. So Ken Jeong decides he's going to kill David Hasselhoff for the money.
I mean, it's a funny premise.
Yeah, I mean, it was cheesy. It was corny. The best part of the movie was the very end when David Hasselhoff raps about how cool he is.
Oh, God. I'm looking at the IMDb page for it, and the tagline on the poster says, "Don't hassle the Hoff." Come on.
Yeah. It's
Dug
David
deep for that
in
one.
the movie. He plays himself, and he is John Lovitz plays his agent.
It's
And he
I
is-
love John Lovitz.
David Hasselhoff is hell-bent on making a superhero musical.
It has a
and being
4.4 out of 10.
Yep, that's pretty accurate. It's a two-dicker.
No.
Two
All right.
Hasselhoff dicks. Jeez.
I also watched something a little bit older. So I saw it
Yeah.
showed up on my Twitter feed. They released a limited print of this movie called The Specials, which I didn't think I'd ever heard of, but I was looking over my Netflix DVD QEUE, and saw that I had added it to my QEUE in 2012 and don't even remember it. But apparently it's a superhero movie from 2000 written by James Gunn and directed by Craig Mazin, who did the whole Chernobyl series on HBO. And it stars Jamie Kennedy, Rob Lowe, and Thomas Hayden Church.
What?
Yeah, so when I saw this, I was like, what the fuck? And there was like, yeah, we're doing this special limited edition Blu-ray printing of this 2000 cult classic, The Specials. And when I saw the cast and James Gunn wrote it and Craig Mazin directed it, I was like, what the fuck? I have to see this. So they only did a print of 5,000 of it. And I guess they're selling physical copies of it in person at this store in Burbank called La La Land Records. And I just ordered it off of eBay because I didn't feel like going there. But I watched it. And it's more of a comedy, like mockumentary style. Like a lot of the superheroes on this team called the Specials, they do like a lot of talking heads. Like talking to the camera and stuff. And they're like, apparently there's a shitload of superheroes in the world, and they're like the 7th tier team of superheroes. And they don't fight crime at all in the movie. All they do is infight. So it basically just follows their bickering and infighting.
Okay.
They don't actually
it's
go
like the
out
Avengers.
and fight
It's like
people.
it's like a Revengers, Avengers, like Office almost hybrid.
Kind of. And Jenna Fisher's in it. She has like a cameo as a college girl yelling at one of the superheroes. Actually, because James Gunn is in it, and I think the two of them were dating at the time. So James Gunn is one of the superheroes.
Okay.
But like they all have just really bizarre powers, and there's one scene towards the end where they like make up for a little bit and they're like, "Oh no, the White House is in trouble." And they all just walk out of this house and use their powers real quick. But like James Gunn just shrinks out of frame and Thomas Hayden Church gets this like weird swirl that circles him. And it's, the bottom of the barrel 2000 CG effects. And you could tell that was like all they could afford. It looks super low budget. This had to have been when James Gunn first transitioned out of making trauma movies, because it even looked a little bit like a trauma movie. And it had its moments, but it wasn't all that great.
I'm going to be honest, the whole trauma movie thing is completely lost on me. I don't even know what that is.
Trauma is a horror movie company. They make B movies.
Real schlocky. Like real over-the-top, nudity, violence.
Lots of tits, lots of violence.
Very, very, very low budget.
Gross.
Yeah.
Can't be that low budget if it's a lot of tits.
I think they just, like...
They make up for the low budget by having just tits to distract.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, that sounds cool.
But it was interesting. I'm glad I watched it. It was cool to see a project with such an oddly paired up creative team very early in their careers. But, not all that great.
Well,
did you pay a lot for it on eBay?
Yeah, it was like $30.
And how much would it have been if you went to the record store or wherever?
Probably the same.
Okay, so you didn't overpay for it.
No.
That actually had me thinking, do either one of you have any interest in Mulan? Because that's supposed to be $30. It's a little bit out of my budget. I mean, I can afford it, but just out of principle.
I get what they're going with that model, because they're like, if parents took their kids to the theater, let's say its average is like $16 or $18 a ticket. Mom and dad got to get a ticket, and then you got to get the two kids a ticket, and then you have to get concessions, popcorn, soda for everybody. It's going to cost a fortune. If everybody's going to watch it at home on the couch, $30 and you're all covered. But for guys like us, like I'm a fucking single dude, I got to pay $30 to watch fucking Mulan alone. I don't know. Like I have Disney Plus, so I did recently watch Mulan for the first time because I was kind of curious, and it wasn't all that great. You know, it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great as far as Disney movies go. And from what I've seen, it looks awesome, the live action one. Like, it looks like the action in it and fight scenes are done really well, and fucking Donnie Yen's in it. Donnie Yen kicks ass.
Mulan looks like it fucks. The trailer is sick.
Yeah. So it's
like, I'm really like interested. $30 though. I mean,
you got to watch it with Bill and Cheech for it to pay off.
Yeah,
so it's $10 a person.
They're being even more frugal than I am. They also do not want to order it out of principle.
Well, just think about it. You guys were all going to the theater and you paid $10 for the ticket.
Right. Yeah, I guess the argument that I am sympathetic to is that we wouldn't go to the theater to see it ever.
Yeah,
okay.
that's.
But
Like
you said yourself, the trailer looks sick.
It does, but I don't know. I still would assume for it to suck. Assume that it would suck. But then again, maybe I'll just buy it. I'm interested. Trailer does fuck. Speaking of trailers that fucked, I don't know how many people messaged me about the goddamn Batman once that hit the internet. Holy shit! Were you guys blown away as much as everyone that I knows? Because
I'm
the
excited
greatest thing
for it.
ever.
It looks cool. I remain open-minded. When they cast Robert Pattinson, when they said Shovelface was Batman, I was like, you know what? I looked like a big fucking idiot, even though I didn't have a podcast at the time, when I was talking shit about Heath Ledger being the Joker. I'm like, what? That fucking bitch boy teen heartthrob? Fucking Knight's Tale? 10 Things I Hate About You is going to be the Joker? Get the fuck out of here. And then he was fucking awesome. That's like the gold standard for the Joker now.
Let's be honest. You said worse. If we could drag up the tape, you said some bad things about Heath Ledger, I'm sure.
I did, and luckily I didn't have a podcast at the time. But
Right.
I don't know. Again, and I was a little reserved about Ben Affleck, but I gave him a shot, and I think he was a decent Batman. I think they didn't give him a great movie to really shine in, but I didn't hate Batfleck.
I don't hate Ben Affleck, but Ben Affleck sucked as Batman. Like that whole Batman thing sucked.
I mean, the movie wasn't good, but I feel like if he was given a good script, I could see
He was a better Bruce Wayne than he was a Batman.
Yeah, I can get down with that. But Robert Pattinson, I don't know. It looks interesting. Is that going to be R-rated? Because I'm pretty sure he fucking murdered a man in that trailer with his bare hands. He fucked that guy up. Like, I heard his skull caving in with crunches when he was just relentlessly beating his head in.
I might go see that movie. And I actually probably will because, it'll definitely be something that we're going to talk about. So if it's rated R, though, I'll be pumped. It's got to be rated R. Come on, just do that. Give it.
I mean, it looks gritty for a superhero movie. I mean, it somehow looks darker than the Nolan movies.
I love Nolan. He's got Robert Pattinson in his next movie, so it's about to be a big year for Robert Pattinson, possibly.
Yeah,
or a couple years. When does Batman come out?
Next year.
Next summer, right?
I don't know. I didn't check the date, but
let's be honest. They should just release it whenever they allow people back into theaters. How many people will go see that? Everyone.
Yeah, I'm down.
That's the answer.
I think it looks good. I'm into it.
All right.
All right, well, I know we have to stay on schedule so you guys can play Madden.
58 minutes, baby.
All right, so we better wrap up so we can switch over and do our Patreon show, which, by the way, is at patreon.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. Got tons of fucking content on there, and I've been seeing a lot of people liking old posts. So people are signing up and starting at the beginning and listening to our earlier Patreon episodes and making their way up. And we've been doing it we're creeping up on 3 years of it. So there's quite a bit of content.
Has it really been that long?
I mean, yeah, we do an episode every week, and we've done 135 episodes so far.
Wow.
So there's a lot of content on there alone, and then we've got, video posts, and we all have our own solo efforts on the $10 tier. So give it a whirl. Try it out for a month. I think you're going to dig it, because I've been seeing a lot of people on the activity. A lot of people are liking old Patreon episodes and just working their way forward and liking them all. So unlock the Patreon vaults, friends. Patreon.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. Speaking of, you should check out our YouTube channel if you aren't on it right now. It is also youtube.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. People have been asking for full-length video episodes for a while, and they're up. And it'd be nice if we get a little bump in those numbers, because I'm starting to think some of you were lying when you said you wanted to watch the videos.
Oh, stop.
So, yeah, we've been putting little teaser videos up on the Instagram account. But, yeah, subscribe to youtube.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. Am I saying that right? My brain has fucking left my ears.
Feels right. I mean, you're on what? Your 10th hour of talking on microphone.
Yeah,
Wait, that's not accurate.
I need to go do a bonus bump. I'll be back in a minute.
That's not accurate. But you've been working hard. That's all I'm saying. You've been working long.
Yeah, and the AC's been off for a while. My brain's starting to melt. So, yeah, check those out. And you can also follow us on Instagram. I'm at Kevin Kraft.
At Shuddy Boy.
At Geoff Records.
And at MSPH Podcast on Instagram. You can check out the video we put up of me and Shuddy when we got to be like 19 or 20 in that, right?
That was in Dom's girlfriend at the time pool. Tracy and I weren't married yet. So yeah, probably 20. We weren't old enough to be as drunk as we were, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Tune in for some prime MSPH underage drinking.
I had bleached hair.
Yeah. And no facial hair.
What?
And no facial hair, right?
Yeah.
So
I might have had a goatee. Just chin whiskers.
It's like getting a glimpse of Bizarro Shuddy.
It was a different time. It was 2001, 2002.
My favorite band was Sugar Ray.
No, it was probably 2001.
I think you're right.
That was never Sugar Ray was never a favorite band. I did enjoy Fly, but
Fly's tight.
What's his name? Mark McGrath, right?
Yeah.
He's been on the Ellis show a few times, right? He's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
You gave him rave reviews.
Yeah. He kicks ass.
Watch your mouth, Shuddy. That's a compliment.
No, I have no problem with Mark McGrath. I saw Sugar Ray in concert. All
right. Dial it back, Shuddy.
Sorry.
All right. 55 minutes.
All right.
We don't have all day
Shuddy.
to talk about Sugarfly. Or Sugar Ray. I didn't listen to him much.
Shuddy, do you have anything you want to promote?
Nope, just the PFL. Remember, the draft is Sunday, August 30th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and there will be a Zoom so we can all talk shit. Kevin is super pumped for Final Fantasy football this year. This is his year.
Sure. Yep. Join if you dare. If you want to get fucking spanked by me, sign up. Listen to Fade the Media, Jeff's podcast.
Yes. Thank you, Kevin.
And if you want to be a part of voicemails, yay, call 201-472-0139, and you can shoot your emails to our brand spanking new email address, madscientistpartyhour@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, friends, but until next time, ooh, something.